Hello and welcome. We're going to be pickling jalapeno peppers today. This summer in a container I grew a jalapeno pepper plant and it had a ton of peppers on it. I'm going to be using a very simple bare bones recipe here. And because we're not pressure sealing the jars, because we don't have to, these pickles are only going to last about 2 weeks in the fridge. Because unfortunately for them, I'm going to eat them. And for safety's sake, always be safe out there. I mean it. So I harvested all the jalapeno peppers from my jalapeno plant. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, how many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? A lot of these are the perfect ripeness for a classic jalapeno that you'd find at the grocery store. That nice green color. But some of them got more ripe, which is totally fine. It changes the flavor a little bit, but it's also really good. One in particular was starting to turn a nice reddish color. But I kept the classic jalapeno look for most of them. I started by cutting them elegantly with a scissor for the video. But I devolved into just snapping them off at some point because they just come off really nice. The little snap. After I was done harvesting, I was done with the plant itself. So thanks for your service, buddy. These peppers just turned out fantastic. So for the recipe, you need some peppers to pickle. You need salt, you need sugar, you need white vinegar, and you need garlic. And some water. And that's it. That's all of it. So simple. Let's get that cutting board in there. Yeah, get that in there. Okay, good. We're going to start by chopping up the jalapeno peppers into little slices. They can be as thin or thick as you want. Be careful with your fingers. You only get so many. Here's the partially ripened jalapeno. It's got a really nice reddish color inside. Maybe a little orange in there too. This pepper got a sunburn, so let's check out what that looks like on the inside. Basically, it's paper thin where it was sunburned. Kinda cool. All right, all the jalapenos are cut into slices and ready to go. We already had them sign a waiver before this whole process started, so don't worry about it. Hypothetically, this recipe is for 20 jalapenos. But that's totally fine. I'm going to put them in big jars, and it's always good to top off with some extra vinegar. So how spicy are these jalapenos? Not very spicy. I mean, they're definitely spicy, but they're not setting a fire in my mouth. Pickling, whether you ferment it or you do it with vinegar, is a great way to tame the spice in peppers. Tasty. Now I'm going to have to do my least favorite part, which is peel some garlic. We need the whole cloves. All right, garlic's all peeled. And everything is ready to go. Just for safety's sake, I'm going to sterilize the lids in some hot water. And I'm going to wash out the jars with some soap and water. All right, let's fill up these big jars. They're not going to fill up all the way to the brim with the amount of peppers that I have. Mix in those garlic cloves. All right, let's do the other jar. And you can see through the glass those red jalapeños in there. They were partially ripened. I mean, beautiful, right? We're gonna have to even these out. There we go. Looks great. Okay, we're gonna make our pickling fluid. We need white vinegar, 2 cups. Two cups of water. And 2/3 a cup of sugar. There's half of it. And the other half. 2 tablespoons of sea salt. Now we're going to bring it to a simmer on the stove and dissolve that by stirring every so often. Let's get that ready to pour inside the pickling jars. Watch out, it's hot. And we pour it all in. I'm going to close those up. Wait a second. There's definitely still some empty space in there. Let me have a drink of tea. I always like to top them off with some more white vinegar. Perfect. Now let's close up the finished product. These look fantastic. So simple and so delicious. So it's the next day, and I'm thinking I'll use this for something simple, a ham sandwich, because that'll really bring out the flavors, and you don't have too much messing with the flavors. What can I say? I'm feeling a little lemon. Ooh, that did kind of seal up. All right, this is the prize at the end of the process. Let's put some of those pickles on. Here's a shot of the inside of the sandwich. It's going to be simple, but delicious. And of course, we all know what goes best with a sandwich with pickles. Mangosteens. Mangosteens are in the genus Garcinia, if you're into plants. They're very refreshing and juicy, and have a taste like peach and lemon, and they have a floral flavor too. I also have a low-calorie orange soda to wash it down. Man, sometimes it's good to keep things simple. Crunchy, sweet, sour, garlic, jalapeno. Perfect. So good. Man, these are great. I totally recommend it. So like I said before, these pickles are recommended to last 2 weeks in the fridge. So if you're gonna make them, keep them refrigerated. Let me try some of those mangosteens. Man, they just have such a light, refreshing flavor. They're super soft and have kind of a jelly texture, but they've got a tiny bit of a crunch when you bite into them. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't tried these before, try them out. Pickled jalapenos are great. And in my humble opinion, they're much better than anything you'll get at the grocery store if you make them yourself. And in my next video, I'll be back with something else.